We are live with Darcy McAllister. She is Marias Medical Center's occupational therapist, and she is a gem for doing a live video with us today, talking about posture and proper ergonomics for home and at work. And if I can just ask everyone out there, say ergonomics. It's just really fun. Darcy, can you say ergonomics?
Ergonomics.
She says it much better. All right, shoot, Darcy. What have you got for us? Oh, sorry, if I could just make a couple quick notes. This is up all year long. We just love that. No, this is one of our office ladies who's out today. She's letting us use her cubicle space, and she has festively decorated it. Also, Darcy does not have her mask on because we are appropriately spaced. I do have my mask, so I can get around here. And then this way, you'll be able to hear and understand her better. All right, go for it, Darcy.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about in office ergonomics is there's a 90-90-90 rule. So when you sit in your chair, you want to think about your hips being at a 90-degree angle, your knees at a 90-degree angle, and your feet at a 90 degree angle. So that's the first thing you want to kind of think about when you sit in an office chair. And so that's the most important base of what you want to think about when you're picking out a chair. A few important things to look at when you pick out an office chair are how it fits you. So behind your knee, you want to have about 1 to 2 inches of space. So this chair is probably just about right for me, but it could be a little less deep. You want to sit back in your chair, and you want your chair to have lumbar support. And not all of our chairs have all of these features. Some do, some don't. You want adjustable arms so that they can go up and down so that you can get underneath the workspace to get closer. So you have adjustability, and you want to have lots of adjustments on your height and how to adjust the height in the back. And so when you go to pick out an office chair, that's one of the things you want to look for is adjustability, because the one thing maybe you have control of is your office chair. You may not have control of the height of your desk or other things.
Yeah.
So you would have control of your chair. So it's one of the things that I would make a really good investment in is a good office chair.
So, question with that. Most of us don't have the luxury of going and buying our own office chair, so we take what we get. Is there anything that you can do to improve? So this one doesn't have adjustable arms. Some might not have lumbar support, different things like that. What could you do for something without adjustable arms or lumbar support?
There are add-ons you can get, like we've had it there before, lumbar supports where you can put them in your chair, and you can just buy those separately if you can't adjust the whole chair. If the chair height doesn't meet your needs, like underneath her chair, she has a footstool.
Oh, good job, Sherry.
Yep. So if she can't get the height right for her feet, then she can put her feet on a footstool so that she can adjust the height that way. So those are a few of the things you can do. Seat depth, that's a hard one because most people, if you go into an office, you're going to find them sitting at the edge of their chair. They're not going to be
Yeah.
in their chair. So it's really important, especially if you're going to be sitting in your chair a long time.
So is that bad posture then, to sit on the edge of your chair because that space between your knees?
Well, it's bad posture because one of the things you want to think about is disbursement of forces. And we talk about that a lot, even like when people sit in wheelchairs. If I'm sitting here like this, all the weight is more just on a certain part on your butt.
Yeah.
And then it's going to hurt worse.
Huh.
And so you want to disperse the forces when you're sitting for long periods of time over a greater amount of space.
That makes sense.
And so then the pressure is not as hard in one spot.
So shoot for 90-90-90.
For 90-90-90 and a little bit of space here. They call these watershed fronts on a chair, so you don't want an abrupt edge. It's a watershed front.
Huh.
And it's smoother and it doesn't cut off your circulation too. So
Interesting.
So that's that.
I'll be honest and say I have sat in my office chair for 3 or so years now, never once thought about any of that. So,
all right. So then we're going to go to your keyboard. And everybody has their own ideas on keyboards. People have ergonomic keyboards. I hate ergonomic keyboards, but I'm sure some people love them. We've had secretaries that just love their ergonomic keyboards. It's what you get used to. Some things with your keyboard, again, when we talk about the 90-90-90 rule, so for this one, right now, you can see that this would be too high. This table is too high for me.
Yeah.
Because my elbows are going to be at a greater than a 90-degree angle. So I would have to raise my chair to make this a suitable workstation.
Okay.
Other things on your keyboard, they have the keyboard legs. I go around and I flip down the keyboard legs. So, because what it does is it brings up your keyboard instead of having it flat. Now,
why is that bad? No.
Because when it's up, you have to lift your fingers up higher. Now,
Oh.
so if people are used to it, I'm not telling you to go change your station.
Okay.
Some people are just used to things how they are and they have no problems. But if you are feeling like, oh my gosh, that makes a big difference, and they lower it down, fine, lower it down.
Yeah.
But if you're starting fresh, I would have it flat, because if not, you're lifting up your fingers more. The other thing is a lot of people have the rest pad here. That is not to rest your hands on constantly. It's just to by gentle support, but it's not for you to be resting your hands on at all times.
So, in other words, for people like me who get those hand cramps and don't even think of a solution to fix them, there's your solution.
There would be something for you to
Maybe
start
that's
with.
why, yeah.
It might be where to start with. The other thing is the distance that your keyboard is from you, where your arms and your shoulders are. So again, the 90-90 rule, you want your elbows kind of at a 90-degree angle and your wrists are flat.
Also, yep.
Yep, some people will have them out here and they'll wonder why their shoulders will hurt or their neck will
Oh,
out.
yeah.
So when they have their keyboard out too far. Think about that.
We have Bob and or Tiffany Gardapi watching, Britt Gardner, Jenny Gruber, and Debbie Belstead. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Hope we just made Darcy a little bit more nervous.
Thanks. So we're going to go on to computer screens. And
Okay.
so for the person who's sitting here at this office station, what she has is she has her two screens spaced equally. So she must use both screens about the same. If you have one screen where you're doing most of your work at and the other is just a secondary screen, you want your primary screen more in front of you. But she probably is using both screens equally. You want your screen about an arm's width distance from you. That's a good rule of thumb. And you want about the top third of it to be at where your eyes hit, about the top third.
Okay.
If you wear bifocals, you might want to adjust your screens to down just a little bit, 1 to 2 inches. And that's what they say on that. Now, when you want to try something new and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to try some of these things, don't go out and buy something expensive and change it. Put a couple books underneath it.
Yes, yeah.
That's what we did with
Yep,
Aaron's.
yeah.
And so to be able to sample something before you go out and buy expensive equipment or anything to change your workstation. There's easy solutions and cheap ones to start off with first. So that's kind of the rule of thumb with screens. On all of our screens, of course, we have the security things so people can't read our screens.
Yeah.
And you do need to be careful with glare and things like that in your home office. So
Okay.
things with lighting you should kind of pay attention to.
Oh, lots of good tips. Wait, can I ask a quick question? I know I'm making this so much longer for you. So, if you had to choose between investing in something that will elevate your computer or investing in a good office chair, which one is more important?
I would pick a good office chair.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would choose. When you're talking about the mobile workstations too, where everyone has the Vera desks.
Yes.
Those are great, and if people are looking at doing one of those, I would do one first and set it up and let people try it and see how they felt about it before you went all crazy and bought a whole bunch of them. The things you have to be careful if you're going to do a Vera desk and a standing one is what you're standing on. And so if you're going to be doing a standing station, you don't want to stand on concrete all day. So if we had a standing one, and I think in our other office there is one, and I think she probably has an anti-fatigue mat underneath her feet.
Okay.
So if you are going to change to a standing desk, you want to make sure that you have something underneath your feet that's comfortable.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that it's easily changeable.
Okay.
So that's what's very nice, is that it's easily adjustable to multiple people being in it.
Thanks, Darcy. You're doing great when I interrupt your thoughts. We have Camille Suber and Judy Norenberg watching. Thanks, guys.
All right, and so your desk, the biggest thing is clearance for your legs and having space underneath here. That's all I can really say about that. Some people cross their legs and then they hit their knees. You're supposed to sit with your legs crossed anyways. We had one person who used to work here and she'd always sit like this, and she never changed and she was always happy. I mean, sometimes you just do what you're going to do. But that's one of the things. You want good clearance. She has a drawer here, and some people will have the pull out for the keyboard. But then if she pulled her keyboard out in this situation, her computer screen would be way too far away.
Oh, yeah. Jessie Latre is also watching. Thanks, Jessie.
So the one thing I want to say about workstation, because now we're doing so much at home too, is to be proactive with this. So look at your stations and be proactive in changing them before you get a repetitive motion injury and have to come into therapy. One of their things is they talk about green zones, yellow zones, and red zones. So green zones are the things that you use a lot. So in her station, is she on her phone a lot? But she has a headset, so she's using a headset.
Yeah.
She's on the phone a lot. So you want to, if things you use a lot, you want them in the green zone to reach for. Then your yellow zone. Okay, I don't use my tape very often, but I use it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then your red zone might be any resource materials or books that you have to reach out for.
Or spiders.
Or spiders. Yes. So think about your zones at your desk. Your green zone, a yellow zone, and a red zone, and kind of space it that way. We have a lot of folks that are on their telephones a lot, so we have headsets, and people get pretty particular about their headsets. Some of them are very heavy on your ear, and more challenging to use, and so it's really something that if you're going to invest in a headset, that you really look into them.
Yeah.
There's lots of different features on the headsets. When you're talking on the phone, don't be doing that. So that's why she has the headset. There are things to build up your phone so you don't have to do that, or have it set up like if she's right-handed, so she could pick up her phone with her left and write her note with her right hand. So think about that. If you always have your phone on your right and you're right-handed, and then you want to write, you're going to be awkward. So
good
think
tip.
about
Okay.
where you're putting your phone, especially because that's your most used piece of equipment at your desk.
Bobby Lee, Sharon Stores, and Wendy Reynolds are all watching.
Ask me another question.
I was going to say, hey guys, shoot us a comment, question, whatever you've got, throw it at Darcy.
One of the things, repetitive motion injuries are one of the most common ones that for workplace injuries next to probably back injuries. And so if you can be proactive in this, it's really important. Another thing that we put on our computers at different times is stretch breaks. So periodically the computers our office folks can ask to have it put on, and it says, hey, it's time for a break. And then you get up and you move away from your station for a while, or you just take a couple minutes and get up.
Yeah.
Since we're doing a lot at home on our computers, and we're doing a lot of work on our computers.
Yeah.
I've had patients who think about their posture. You can ask me that, and I'm just going to tell you.
Yes, Darcy, tell us about posture.
So sometimes we all start to slump, and I've had people like put a little reminder like on their computer screen, a star or a smiley face that says, oh, think about it. Am I sitting upright? Where's my head? Am I starting to slouch? And it's just a little visual cue to keep tabs on how your posture is.
So, on the Amazon deals, they have those posture correcting straps that I've seen so many ads for. Is that a good idea or bad idea?
Well, I would probably say that your best option is to use your muscles.
Okay.
To help you to remember to do it. Whenever they talk about using something to help position you, then we might get used to the brace, and then we get lazy into the brace. And so, in my opinion, and you can ask others this too, is that some of those things you have to really think about what you're using it for. We see people who want to use the belts for lifting, and they always say with those, if you're going to use the belt, tighten it when you're lifting, but then it's loose the other time so that your muscles are not getting used to that support all the time.
Interesting.
So those are
Okay.
the cup lifting rules
Okay.
with that kind of thing, so support. I one time put tape on my daughter's back because she was always like this with her phone, and so there is
None of us are like that.
and so there is kinesio tape, and so I put the tape on her, and so every time she would bend forward to look at her phone, it would pull, and so she couldn't look down and have poor posture, and so she quickly removed the tape.
That's one solution.
But it is a solution. It kind of gives you a little position sense to make you think about your posture.
Yeah.
And so I've tried to use kinesio tape too to help people think about their posture.
So can you model good posture for us? Because I think, and
As I get.
question for everyone on here, comment if during this video you have been straightening your back, pulling back your shoulders, fixing your sitting position. I know I have. All right, show us.
I work with a physical therapist, and one of the things that she said to me is, quit your heels back against the wall and stand up straight and put your head against the wall like this.
Kind of hard to see. I know you can't see it from the side, but
see on our wall here.
you get the idea.
But you get the idea. And she said at first people are going to think you're looking very too straight, but that helps you think about where your head is in your proper posture and alignment. And so if you go to a wall and you go, I am really forward, and it'll just kind of make you think about it every once in a while, but to think about your posture.
Awesome. I always just thought you had naturally good posture. So this, having good posture, doing these different things, this can prevent a lot of injury, a lot of just years of neck aches, migraines maybe.
Yep, repetitive motion injuries are the main one because people using their mouse, their keyboard incorrectly, not having the proper chair, all of those things. We'll see injuries like that in the clinic all the time. So if you can find a way to decrease your stress in one area, then you may not be able to modify something somewhere else.
Okay.
So wherever you can modify and wherever you can take good care of yourself, then maybe somewhere else it won't add up. Repetitive motion injuries are something that adds up and adds up and adds up a lot of times over time. It's not something that one day you go to work and all of a sudden your arms are sore. It's like you've done it that way for a long time.
Yeah.
It usually takes time to get to that problem.
So fix these bad habits now. So we also have Heather Haight, Mary Christensen, Kathy Snyder, Ruby Bustle. I don't think I missed anyone there. They're also watching. Britt Gardner says she needs to come back after my car accident. Yeah, you guys can still come and see Darcy. Or we do have physical therapy too.
Physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy are all in our department now. And so our number is 434-3234.
Awesome.
We need a physician referral for treatments, for evaluations, but talk to your physician. And if you have any questions about office ergonomics, feel free to call us at the clinic as well.
That's wonderful, Darcy. And then, unless you have anything else you want to add, I'm going to wrap up with a scavenger hunt question. So open your ears, people, and listen to this. So it's on your health handout. And the question is, what are simple practices that can be implemented into your day to ensure proper posture? And it's just really a summary of what you said with the different things.
To the wall, put a sticker somewhere to remind you of good posture. What I do is I people watch. And okay, I should get up a little straighter. People watching is a good way for me to keep tabs of my own posture as well at times.
Yeah.
And we all slouch. So when you see me out there, I'm probably slouching, and you can tell me, please stop slouching.
It doesn't look like you're slouching. Wonderful. If you guys have questions for Darcy, feel free to put them in the comments. We can get them to her and try to answer them as best as we can. But again, she gave you that number. Can you give it to us one more time?
434-3234 is the physical, occupational therapy, and speech therapy number.
Awesome. All right, round of applause for Darcy, and the crowd goes wild. And just want to say, like, comment on this for a chance to win a prize. Thanks for joining us. See you later.